All right, good evening. We're alive. We're going to be in the book of Acts, chapter 12 tonight, okay? We're almost at that transition point. Our memory verses for this week, we have not 9, it's 10 memory verses, but 3, I say 9 weeks? Yeah, 9 weeks of memory verses. So they are from the book of, let's remind ourselves, let's see, Hebrews, Peter, and Job. So we have Job, or Job, they call it, what I used to call it, chapter 19 and verse 23 through 26. Is that correct? 23 through 26, yes. 23 to 26. First Peter, chapter 1, verse 23 through 25. In Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1 through 3. Are you ready? Okay, Job 19, 23 through 26. All right, so this is a unique week now. This is a big week to memorize the Word of God. I'm in Job chapter 19, verse 23. Oh, that my words were now written. Oh, that they were printed in a book, that they were graven with an iron pen inlaid in the rock forever. For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand at the latter day upon the earth. And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see God. Job 19, verse 23 through 26. Yes. All right, 1 Peter 1, 23 through 25. I'm drawing a blank. Brother Glenn, you can't do that. Well, that's what we're doing the whole week. As I said, it's not the memorization. We've done most of the hard work. It's remembering how to start it off, where it's located, okay? So 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 23. Being born again, not of corruptible seed, but of incorruptible, by the word of God, which liveth and abideth forever. For all flesh is as grass, and the glory of man as the flower of grass. The grass withereth, and the flower thereof falleth away. But he that endureth to the end shall be. That's not it. What is it? But the word of the Lord endureth forever. And this is the gospel, and this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you. Let me double check that. But the word of the Lord endureth forever, and this is the gospel, and this is the word which by the gospel is preached unto you. That's correct. Gotcha. Hebrews 12, 1 through 3. Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider him who endured such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. It's pretty close. I'm still working on it. Still got some things to remember. Those are memory verses for this week. We're going back 3 times. Let's see, 9 verses or 9 weeks. Okay? Let's open to the word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks, glory, praise, honor for the work you do in our lives, for the goodness that you provide for us, the kindness that you give to us. Lord, we can't thank you enough. Father, now we stop for just a moment to say thank you. Thank you for all that you do for us. Lord, tonight we worship your name because you are worthy. Come not, Lord, to receive. We came to give you our praise. Father, we have already received the greatest gift that could ever be given. your Son Jesus. And to us a child is born, and to us a son is given. Thank you tonight. Help us as we study your word in Christ, and we pray. Amen. All right, so tonight we're going to be in the book of Acts, chapter 12. We're going to review just a small amount, not much. By the way, I encourage you, if this is your first time here, don't try to memorize the verses. It's a little too much for 1 week. But I would encourage you, this is why we do this. I'm going to go back, for those of you who may be new to the channel, here's how we work this. So what I do is I'll post one verse, and there's 5 nights we're going to meet, 5 nights a week. So we're going to try to memorize that verse for the whole week. We're going to break it down a little by little. Each night we'll say it, and we're going to have that verse down. And after 3 weeks, the fourth week, we're going to try to do all the past 3 weeks. It's really not 9 weeks, actually more than that. 12 weeks is really what it is. And that last week, we're going to do all 3 verses. So we do 1 week, 1 verse, next week, the second verse, third week, the third verse, and the fourth week, we do all 3 of them. Then we do another set. When we get another set of 3, we do them all together. And that's what we're doing now. But by then, you've memorized them pretty good. Okay? This is the way I learned it. This is what was taught to me by Pastor Gary Webb from Calvary Baptist over in Carrboro, North Carolina. All right. The book of Acts, chapter 11 and 12. Let's go there now. Let's see. I got to get my camera, my phone where it won't just log off. Put that auto lock on never. Go to the quiz now. Okay, let's see if we've got it. Acts 12 and 12. Here we go. Ready? Question number 1. By the way, I'm on the website, rudyredband.com. And it's the latest of our our quizzes. I don't do a lot with this website except to post quizzes there. If God lets me live and I am retired, I can spend more time on it, and I'll do more with it. But for now, it's sufficient. The church was scattered from the persecution of Saul, and believers traveled as far as Phoenicia, Antioch, and this country. We don't want you to remember it's called Cyprus, because that's where Barnabas is from. Cyprus. Let's go back to the book of Acts. Okay, you got it? Let's go to the book of Acts. And it is in chapter 'Hold on just a minute. There it is. Verse number 19, Acts 11:19. Phoenicia, Cyprus, and Antioch. Now, for those of you who are good students of your Bible, if you go to chapter 4 at the end, you'll see where it mentions Barnabas for the first time. And it says here, and Joses, or Jose, that's in chapter 4, verse 36, who by the apostles was surnamed Barnabas, which is being interpreted the son of consolation of Levi, and of the country of Cyprus. That's where he was from. That's that island. Okay. Next question. The gospel was preached to Jews only. True or false? That's true. They only preached to the Jews. In fact, in Acts chapter 11, verse 19, it says, but unto the Jews only. Next, 3. After many believed in Antioch of Syria, by the way, I'll put that in to remind you, it's Syria. The church at this city sent Barnabas to the church. Should have said to the church at Antioch. What city did he leave? Jerusalem. The church was at Jerusalem. And that's in verse 22, which was in Jerusalem, and they sent forth Barnabas. Number 4. Was Barnabas described as a man full of the Holy Ghost? Yes. Yes, he was a good man, full of the Holy Ghost and of faith. That's in chapter 11, verse 24, giving the credentials of the man Barnabas. 5. Many were added to the church at Antioch, and Barnabas went to seek Saul. Saul was last seen in this city, name it, Tarsus, Remember, we left him in chapter 9. He was sent to Caesarea and then sailed to Tarsus, which is his hometown. And he had been there until this man, right? What's his name? Barnabas. He goes and seeks Saul, brings him back. He needs help at the church at Antioch, right? Well, how did they get together? Barnabas went looking for him. He needed help at the church at Antioch. 6. How long was Barnabas and Saul then at the church at Antioch? A year. About a year. So it's clearly about a year. A whole year in verse 26. The Bible said that a whole year they assembled themselves with the church. Number 7. Name the prophet that came to Antioch and declared that a famine or dearth would come upon the land. His name was Agabus, Agabus. We'll find him a little bit later on in the scriptures, named Agabus. I think it's in chapter 20. Yes, chapter 21, verse number 10, Agabus. I don't know. It just sticks in my head because we just did it on our Bible study at the church on Sunday nights. All right, next one. 8, Herod killed this disciple after vexing the church. James, the first apostle to die. For those of you who do not know this, I'll write it again. When Jesus is present, there were disciples, 12 disciples. Jesus was gone. He's gone back to heaven. They're called apostles. Same guys, okay? I want you to see that so you'll get it. Well, a disciple means somebody learning. Apostles, by definition, means one who is sent forth. Okay? All right. So, to answer the question, James died. 9, Herod arrested Peter because of this. He done something wrong? No, it pleased the Jews. The Jews were so happy when he arrested James. When James died, it pleased them so much. Let me arrest Peter because I'm going to kill him too. In fact, he had determined after Easter, I think he said after Easter, he had determined, in verse 3 it says, it pleased the Jews. Because he saw it please the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter. Right? He was intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Why did he arrest Peter? Because it pleased the Jews. Gives me a lot of clout with the people there. 10, how did Peter escape from prison? An angel of the Lord came and let him out. Extra credit. Peter arrived at this house where prayer was made without ceasing for him. What house? It was kind of a tricky question. We just got to the end of it. Her name was Mary. She was the mother of John, whose surname is Mark. Okay? Excuse me. I'm going to put this up here. John, the surname is Mark. And they're at a house, and his mother's name is Mary. Remember, the early church met in houses. They did not have a formal place to come and to worship. They didn't get a building like we do today, call it a church, and we go and it's brick and mortar, or wood and mortar. The early church met like this. And again, I wrote at the end last night to tell you what the first century is. The second century begins in the year 101 AD. Okay? We're in the year 2025 AD, which is the 21st century. Right? Because the first century is 0 up to 100. Now, from 100 to 125 to 150 to 175, that's all the second century. It's confusing sometimes, and you just have to think of it. And that's why I wrote it last night as I did at the end. Hope you got something out of that. Hope you were able to follow along and to learn some of those, that you're picking up on it, that you're learning the Word of God, which is what my goal is. I hope that you will learn the Word of God. Sometimes I go too fast, sometimes I go too slow. And I'll try, but if I go too fast, I know you can always back it down with YouTube and replay it. All right, so let's go back and remind ourselves, just a little bit of review, not much. The book of Acts is divided into 2 parts by chapters, okay? Chapter 1 through 12 and chapters 13 through 28. We are almost finished with this. This is the actions of all the apostles, right? The apostles. Almost primarily, the last apostle is Paul. It is the acts or the actions of the apostle. That's what the book is. The ACTS, the acts or the actions of the apostles. It's a concrete book. We call concrete abstract, where you got to fill out the thinking about it, what it might mean. This gives you actually, he went there, he said this, they did this, etc. You can follow it pretty easy. But now we're almost at the end of this chapter. Okay? Let's go back and remind ourselves of chapter 11. What in the world was chapter 11 about? Well, it had 2 things. First, it's about Peter's explanation, right? Peter's explains or explanation. About what? How in the world? What happened at Cornelius' house? He got back and said, Peter, you was with them Gentiles. Yeah, but I had a good reason. The Lord told me to, and he tells them everything. And he said, now what was I supposed to do? And you got it, right? Now, the second thing it talks about here, of course, is the Gentile church, right? Which is the church at Antioch, where Gentiles are. Okay? Well, then what about chapter 10? Oh, you know that chapter 10. That's that big chapter all about Cornelius and Peter. Cornelius and Peter, right? Peter had the vision. Cornelius is there having a vision. And they go and they meet each other, and the Gentiles receive the Word of God. Now, chapter 8 and 9 are different. 9, of course, is Saul and Peter, right? Remember Saul and Peter. Salt and pepper. Salt and pepper. Chapter 9. First about Saul, his conversion. He got saved, right? You can't miss chapter 9. That's where Saul becomes, he doesn't become Paul, but he gets born again of the Spirit of God. On his road to Damascus experience. Now, after he's saved and he goes back to Tarsus, because they tried to kill him, of course, then we find that Peter went through the 4 quarters of where he was at. And he ended up at Lydda, Lydda, and a man named Aeneas. Aeneas was healed, a lame man, had palsy. And then they beckoned him to go from Lydda to Joppa because there was a lady there needed to be healed. She was dead, actually. Her name was Tabitha. So they called her Dorcas. And Peter went there, and she rose from the dead. And while he was there at Simon the Tanner's house, that's in chapter 10 when Cornelius summons him to come to Caesarea. So now we got chapter 9. What's chapter 8? Chapter 8 is the 3 P's, remember? Chapter 8, we got Philip. We got Peter and John. And Peter and the eunuch. The eunuch. 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 E-U. I could put that in. Peter and the E-U-N-U-C-A. Enoch. Eunuch. I can't pronounce. I can't spell it well, but you know what I'm talking about. Philip is preaching the gospel. Anyway, Saul makes havoc of the church in chapter 8. Then Philip preaches in Samaria. Great revival breaks out. Then Peter comes, and that guy that was following Philip, named Simon, tried to buy the Holy Ghost. And Peter and John said, your money perish with you. And then, of course, we got Philip and the eunuch, and what happened to him there. What is chapter 7? Oh, you can't miss chapter 7. What's chapter 7, Brother Glenn? Lucky number. That's when Stephen gives this long sermon. At the end of it, of course, he dies. Stephen preaches that wonderful sermon. In the end of the chapter, he dies, and they lay their clothes at the feet of the man by the name of Saul as they stoned him to death. What about chapter 6? Well, 5 and 6 is when the wheels fall off. Chapter 6, of course, is the Grecian women. Their widows are being neglected. That's the Jewish people have with that Grecian background. They call them Hellenistic Jews. And they elected 7 men to take care of the widows, to serve the table. Stephen, Philip are 2 of those. And at the end of that chapter 6, you read about Stephen preaching, and they could not resist his wisdom, right? Now in chapter 5, you got Ananias and Sapphira. And that's a long chapter. After they die, of course, many miracles are done. The shadow of Peter overshadowing people, they can be healed. They arrest all the apostles, and they take them in. The Lord lets them out. The angel lets them out, and they go out preaching the word of God. They come back. They hold them in contempt. Gamaliel speaks up and says, leave these men alone, but they beat them and let them go. Right? All right. So that's enough. That's enough review. Where are we at right now? We're in chapter 12. So, Brother Glenn, why do you go through this like this? I'm hoping you'll take some time tonight, or each night you'll say, God, let me go back over my book and let's look and see where all this is at. Chapter 12, James dies. Flat out. You can't miss it. Chapter 11, you know that. Chapter 12, Peter's explanation in chapter 11 about all that happened. And then you got the church at Antioch, right? And they sent Barnabas there. But boy, in chapter 12, James dies. It's the first of the disciples, the apostles to die. And Peter's put in prison. He's gotten released. And now he got out. Of course, remember, he was let out. And he went through the last gate. Then he went into the first street. And the angel left him. And he ends up where they're having a prayer meeting for him. So let's go back and look at our Bibles in Acts chapter 12, okay? Ready? Acts chapter 12 and verse 5. We're going to have something real comical tonight, something kind of funny. Not comical, something really odd, but it's hilarious. I laugh at this. It's always so funny. Verse 5, Peter was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto God for him. Prayer is made without ceasing to God for him. James has already died. That inner circle, Peter, James, John, and now Peter is in prison, and I got a feeling they're going to try to kill him too. They're going to make it a mockery of him, okay? Now he's escaped. Remember? The Bible said that the angel of the Lord in verse 7 came. Rise quickly. She hit him on the side, got him up. They went out. He thought he saw a vision. When he got it, he said, I know that wasn't a vision. I know. Surety, verse number 11. Then the Bible says, then verse 12, when he had considered the thing, he came to the house of Mary, the mother of John, whose surname was Mark, where many were gathered together praying. Please underline this in your Bible in verse number 12. John and Mark. You're going to find them a little bit later. Underline this here. Gathered together praying. That's so unique. Right? You ready? 5. Chapter 12. Verse 12. Prayer. We're talking about prayer tonight. Peter's in prison. The church is praying. And I love how it says in that verse number 5, without ceasing. Prayer was made without ceasing of the church of God. I believe they were all praying, and somebody prayed, and while somebody had to fall asleep, the others were praying. They knew that they were in trouble. Peter is the leader of the church. Remember, he's that man that stood up on the day of Pentecost and preached that gospel, and 3,000 are saved. He's the man at the beautiful gate who preached at Solomon's porch, and 5,000 are saved. That's in the first few verses of chapter 4. 5,000 are saved. This is Peter. This is the man who just gone down to Caesarea, came back, and said they got the Holy Ghost. God spoke to him. God deals with Peter. Now he's in prison. They're praying without ceasing. Where's he at? He's out of prison. He's at their house. So let's see what happens. Are you ready? Acts 12, verse 13. And as Peter knocked at the door of the gate, a damsel came to hearken. In other words, she listened, named Rhoda. And when she knew Peter's voice, she knew it was Peter. She opened not the gate for gladness, but ran in and told how Peter stood before the gate. She just forgot what she was doing. Can I give you my brother Fred's story? It's comical when we look back at it, but it was so much happiness. You know, we have this play we do, an Easter program years ago. We put it on for a long time, and I always tell the story. Brother Fred. Brother Fred was playing one of the thieves, right? He was Simon, not the thieves. He was Simon the Cyrenian. And I'm telling you, it was one of those emotional nights. They opened the curtain scene. We had just seen where Jesus was beaten at the whipping post, delivered by Pontius Pilate. And there was some music. We'd gone off the stage. And all of a sudden, there was the curtains open at the front of the church. There were two thieves on either side, but there was nothing in the center. Boom, at the back of the church. Suddenly the doors open, and there comes Jesus walking. And the crowd behind him, crucify him, crucify him. And we're halfway down, and about that time, Jesus collapses. And the soldiers, you here, take this cross. And so he's playing Simon the Cyrenian. And he takes it up, and he's on his way to take it in front, right? They get up Jesus. Now he's trying to make his way to the cross. The powers, it was just so overwhelming. We got the front brother Fred throw that thing down. He went to shout, praising God. Just praise the Lord. Oh my goodness. I said, Brother Fred, God bless you, brother. Amen. Amen. Something more important, he was just praising his God. You know, you just forget where you are. The praise of God is so good. It's so great. It's so needful. I mean, and it just reminded me of Rhoda. She was so overwhelmed that Peter's alive and here he is. She forgot to open the door for him. It's just, forget that. I'm just overwhelmed. I just remember the joy Brother Fred had, man. That brother was, listen, when I put on, that brother was praising God. It just reminds me of Rhoda. She was, the Bible says, for joy. So she runs back in. Everybody, Peter's at the door. You didn't let him in? It's kind of comical, but you got to watch. No, that's not the comical part. Underline this in your Bible. She knew Peter's voice. She knows it's him. And they said to her, thou art mad. You lost your mind. Peter's in jail. Come over here and help us pray. To me, it's just crazy. It's comical. It's just, I love it. Listen, let me read it again for you. Verse 15. And they said unto her, underline, thou art mad. But she constantly affirmed that we was even so. Then said they, it is his angel. You're mad. You've lost your mind. Come over here, help us pray. We're praying for Peter to get out. Whenever you think she's seen Peter, boy, pray, honey. You need to learn how to pray. Well, I saw him. You saw his angel. You didn't see Peter. Now, what are they praying for? Peter to be released. Answered prayer, but they don't get it. They say she's crazy. Is that not Christian people today? You praying for something, praying so hard, but when God does it, you don't believe it. You know, I'm reminded that so many times God gives it to you and you just don't even know it. Oh my goodness. You've lost your mind. Thou art mad. That's what it means. You've lost your mind. You're crazy. Peter's at the door. We're praying for him to be released. You know what it is, don't you? He's going to get out the way we think he's going to get out. We're going to get an announcement and he'll come out. We never think of it being God's way. This is the first time that the angel of the Lord came and let them out of prison, is it? We read that last night in chapter 5, how the angel of the Lord came and released them from the prison. We just don't understand it. I just don't think we do. I don't think we get it. But God does it his way. And even when you hear it, you don't believe it. They even said, no, you saw his angel, a likeness of Peter. You thought you did, but you really didn't. You know, they don't even think about what they're praying. Sometimes we're like that, brothers and sisters. Were they people of faith? I believe they were. They were brokenhearted over Peter. They're praying. But as many times we are, we don't really think about God's answering the prayer. We're so busy praying that we can't see what God does. We have that Naaman experience. Surely I thought it would have come out, struck his hand on the door, and said some words, and I'd have been healed. Not just to send his servant, tell me to go wash in the river, in that dirty river. I don't think that's the way God would want me to get healed. I don't think God would do it that way. You know, God delivered people in ways you would never, ever expect. Heard the voice of the possibility of a war, and Saul left. David was released. Something so unusual. They heard a sound in the woods, and they all ran away and left. You know, they thought they heard a marching of an army, so they ran away. God does those things, brothers and sisters. Sends a hailstorm and kills crowds of people. Let God have his way in how he does things. This is a teaching point here. Rhoda is being told she's mad. Where's Peter at? Oh my goodness, they forgot about me. I can't believe this. You know, here I am in trouble. The enemy's all around. I get call 911. This is 911. Can you hold, please? You know, it's like verse 14. Verse 15, thou art mad. 16, but Peter continued knocking. And when they had opened the door and saw him, underline this, they were astonished. I need to preach a sermon on that, right? That's Peter. He was praying for it, wasn't it? Yeah, but I didn't believe it was going to happen. You thought it was going to happen your way in your time. Oh, to God that we could pray. I need to take a moment to teach you. Oh, God forbid that I would tell you that I know more than you know. No. But let me teach you something clear. We saw this. We saw this in the book of Acts chapter 1. I want to talk to you about expectations. You have your own expectations of what you think God is and how he would do it. There's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end are the ways of death. So when I talk about salvation, you think you can get saved your way, but it's really not the right way. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. For as the heavens are higher above the earth, so are my ways beyond understanding. You have to think like God, and that's what David had, that ability. There are some that would have that ability. Isaiah 55 and verse 8, God tells us, you're not like me. So this is why we live by faith, because we just don't understand God. We can't. We're not on his level. Isaiah 55 verse 8, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith the Lord. Verse 9, for as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, my thoughts than your thoughts. So let God decide how to do it. In chapter 1, prime example, remember this. Peter says, hey, Judas, the Bible says somebody will take his place. And he quoted the scripture. He was absolutely right. Instead of waiting on God, he said, we need to choose somebody. So they went, and he gave the qualifications. Had to be with us ever since we started, had to be able to see the resurrection. And they chose Judas and Matthias won. But you never hear about him anymore. They went to God and said, God, we got these two men, Judas, whose surname is Barsabbas, and Matthias. Which one do you choose, Lord? And God's like, choose either one of them. You're deciding it your way. Let me decide. And I go back to I can't remember that place in the Bible. I keep forgetting it. It's where Moses is told he can't go into the promised land. And he says, well, God, we're going to need somebody to lead the people. Who's going to lead them? We need somebody, Lord. And God says, get Joshua. Now, Joshua had been with him ever since Exodus chapter 24. He's been his assistant, as good a man as ever. But you don't pigeonhole God. God, get the man that you think is best. God said, get. Really? Joshua? Yes, sir. That's who you get. You need to believe him. They were astonished when they saw Peter. They were astonished. Rhoda was happy. He's been released. They're astonished. I love the difference in this, what it says. Look at Rhoda. The Bible says, for what? Gladness. And if you're looking at them, they were what? Astonished. Rhoda might have been one of those young damsels. She's a young girl. She don't know a lot of the Bible. But you know what she does? She believes what God says. This is why knowing all the Word of God won't help you a bit if you don't have the Spirit of God leading you. And you follow his principles and what he says. Some of the most simple people in the world don't know a whole lot, but they can follow God a lot better. Jesus said, be like babes. Baby, don't understand. God says do it, you do it, that's simple. 15, verse number 17. But he, beckoning unto them with the hand to hold their peace, declared unto them how the Lord had brought him out of the prison. And he said, go show these things unto James. Underline the word James. And to the brethren. And he departed and went to another place. Now, what do you mean by James? I thought he was dead. This is another James, okay? Now, most are going to believe this is the actual brother of Jesus. In the book of Acts, chapter 15, James seems to be the pillar of the church. Two of the brothers of Jesus, their mother and father were Mary and Joseph. Mary and Joseph is his legal father and mother. However, he's the son of God. But he was born, and somebody said, well, he's Mary's, but not Joseph's. It's the lineage of Mary and the lineage of Joseph in the book of Matthew. James is that brother. Seemed to be the pillar of the church. You got your, I was just making sure this other commentary also was saying the same thing. Go to chapter 15 and verse number 13. It also mentions him again. Because we know James the apostle has died. Well, how do you know it was actual James the apostle? The brother of John. The brother of John. And that pretty much tells you James and John, the sons of Zebedee, sons of thunder. So this is another James, likely James, who was the brother of Jesus. Now, we also know he had another brother named Jude, who wrote the book of Jude. James will write the book of James. And those two men are listed in the scriptures. So now, he beckoned him with a voice. He says, guys, hold your peace. He declared to them how what? The Lord had brought him out of the prison. He said, go show these things to James and to the brethren. Excuse me. And to the brethren. And he departed and went to another place. Now, as soon as it was day, there was no small stir. That means there was a large stir among the soldiers. What was become of Peter? You may recall, it was the day before he was going to be brought out and taken to the people. Likely they were going to kill him, right? Well, why would the Lord wait that last day for Peter? You know, why is it such a bad day to die? Think about your own life. Now, maybe you have cancer. Maybe you have an incurable disease and you're dying now. I'm not making a mockery of you. God forbid that I would ever degrade you. But you need to hear the truth. This is everybody who doesn't have it yet, and they will have it. Unless the Lord raptured the church, we all die. That's what an appointment God put for us. But if you have that sentence that you're going to be dying soon, are you happy about getting to meet the Lord soon? Or are you saddened because you're going to leave your friends and loved ones? Philippians chapter 1, verse 21. Peter is released the day before. Let's go back and look at it. Look at chapter 12. Verse 4, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. Peter therefore was kept in the prison, right? Verse 6, and when Herod would have brought him forth the same night, Peter was sleeping. When he was going to bring him forth, that's when God released him. Now, Peter is taken away. He went into another place. There wasn't a small stir. I mean, the soldiers know they are in trouble. It's death to have a prisoner be released. He got away. What had become of Peter? And when Herod saw, remember? Herod would have brought him forth, verse 6, look at verse 19. When Herod had sought for him and found him not, he examined the keepers and commanded that they should be, underline this, put to death. And he went down from Judea to Caesarea and abode. Herod had them killed, put to death. Commanded that they should be put to death. Brother Glenn, where we live at now, we would say that Peter and the angel were bad people. And they caused some people to get his being released. He should have stayed there, and the Lord could have just changed the heart of Herod. And Herod would have released him. But now you've got men that have died for no reason. So that's the ignorance of how we live in America today. You think you know more than God. I think God knows more than you know. Let God's word be true and every man a liar. Right? As those apostles said, we ought to be, Peter said, we ought to be God rather than a man. So now Herod had him killed, right? And let's see if I can put this down without tearing up everything. He has gone from here, this is Judea, the city of Jerusalem. Remember Caesarea, where Peter was at initially? Remember he was there? He was at Lydda, right there. Then at Joppa, then at Caesarea. Now we have Herod, who was here at Jerusalem. It's gone to Caesarea. Okay? Herod is likely upset. Let Peter get away. He was going to please the Jews. More popular. Jerusalem's filled with Jews, and all the Jews have been doing whatever they wanted. And they had their own way. And he loved to please them. But Herod, by the way, chapter 12, James died, Peter was released. Herod. So let me tell you something what happens. I don't know why God does this. There was nothing particular. And it's not that Peter was better. James dies. Peter doesn't. But Peter's released. He goes to his own place. Herod's upset. He kills them, the soldiers, because they let him go. He goes to Caesarea. But something unique happens. And Herod was highly displeased with them of Tyre and Sidon. But they came with one accord to him, and having made Blastus the king's chamberlain, their friend, desired peace, because their country was nourished by the king's country. So now, Tyre and Sidon are saying, please, don't be angry with us, right? They wanted that peace with Herod. Remember Tyre and Sidon? They're along that coast going up, a little higher up. Remember? Tyre and Sidon? I'll remind you of it. He's at Caesarea now. While Herod is at Caesarea, there's Tyre, Sidon. They get food from, of course, Galilee, all this area, of course, where all the Jews are at. This is Herod's domain, particularly Galilee in particular for Herod. But he's here at Caesarea, Tyre and Sidon, and they come to where he's at, and they beg peace. They get food from him, from that area. So they wanted peace with him. The Bible says, Tyre and Sidon, they came with one accord, having made Blastus, desired, underline this, desired peace. The country was what? Nourished by the king's country. They got food from him. And upon a set day, Herod arrayed in royal apparel. A set day meaning we are going to have a special day for the king. Everybody prepare. We're going to get ready. I think of it like when Princess Diana and Prince Charles are going to get married. Remember all the things to do before that time happened back in the 80s, and they're getting ready to get married, and everything had to be right for it. The Bible said that he arrayed in a royal apparel, sat upon his throne, and made an oration unto them. Oration? Think of it like this. Herod is about to come out, and perhaps Caesarea is a major thoroughfare. It's a pretty big city. And he comes out, he's sitting on his throne. He's about to make a speech. You know how when you got a captured audience, how do you get people where they're waiting for you to do something and the speech is there? And maybe not be silent. I'm thinking of a special time that I saw, and a man was just waiting, and he knew when he spoke what was going to happen. It was a Super Bowl, and they had an entertainer going to be there named Michael Jackson. Now, Michael Jackson, they had imitators and all four corners, and they would show them, and the spotlight would go on them and on the big screen, and they would come up out of the ground, and they would stand right. The bottom, so they're open. All of a sudden, it would rise up. The floor would come in. They would stand. They were like this. They're all dressed like Michael Jackson. And they would think it was him, but it wasn't. And then on the stage, all of a sudden, in the middle of the stage, where everybody could see, it comes up out top, and it comes up, and the bottom comes in. And he stands like this, with his glasses on, and the crowd goes crazy. They're waiting on him to move. Takes almost a minute and a half. And then when he turns like this here, they go crazy again. They're just waiting for him to do something. I think of that like this guy. Herod has their attention. He has got everybody ready. He has made this thing up so great that they are elevating him to that beyond measure moment. The Bible says, made an, underline this, oration. He speaks unto them. And the people gave a shout. The people went crazy. Here's what they said, underline it. It is the voice of a God and not a man. Wow. It is the voice of a God, not a man. Wow. And immediately the angel of the Lord smote him, because he what? Underline it. He gave not God the glory. And he was eaten of worms and gave up the ghost. But the word of God grew and multiplied. Our verses are made by man. It reads right out. What do you mean the word of God grew and multiplied? What does his death have to do with the word of God? Everybody knew what had happened. You see, he had made a big to-do when he arrested Peter. He made a great big scene about this. Hey, they liked the fact I vexed the church. But when I killed James, man, the Jews went crazy. They loved it. I'm going to kill Peter, but I'm not going to kill him real quick. I'm going to keep him for a while. That way I can build up the suspense when I kill him. And I'll have all the people together. It's going to be a big thing. How do you know that, Brother Glenn? Well, look at that chapter 12. Look at that verse number 4. When he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to 4 quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people after the Easter, after that Passover. We're going to bring him forth. Yeah, we're going to bring him out, and I'm going to have him killed. They're going to love this. They're going to love this with all their heart. Yeah, Easter's Passover. That's what he's making a reference to. But I love this. He was thwarted by God. You see, God intervened. Herod knew those soldiers didn't lie. It was supernatural. He didn't want to believe it. He had tried to kill God's man. And all of his glory, all of his plans came crashing down. And now the people declare he's a God, and he didn't give God the glory. You knew what happened to Peter. You knew you were trying to kill God's man. God delivered him, and you didn't give God the glory. God delivered him, and you say, guys, a miracle has happened here. This doesn't happen. There's no way that guy got out. All these men couldn't agree to this. I believe something's happened here. We need to let it alone. He didn't do it. And when he dies, guess what? All the church knows this is God's hand. God does this. How does it say it? The Bible says the Bible said, the angel of the Lord. Now underline that again. The angel of the Lord. Who had let Peter out? Come back in chapter 12. Look at verse number 7. The angel of the Lord. The same one that let Peter out. I believe it's the same one. Smote him. Worms ate him up. Can you imagine a man dying? The Bible says here, smote him. And he was eaten of worms. He died and the worms ate his body. God. What happens? The word of God grew and multiplied. That's what happens. You see, God punished this man for what he had done to Peter. You mess with God's people. You try to make a spectacle of him. And then you wanted to exalt yourself and not me. When you saw what I had done. And he died a horrible death. Did God kill people then? Yes. Was this man a Christian? Mm-mm. God kills sinners and Christians. God will kill anybody he wants. He's God. See now that even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. I'm quoting from the book of Deuteronomy 32. But the word of God grew and multiplied. I love this. Word of God. Didn't say the church. The word of God grew and multiplied. What's important? God's word. What you're studying now. And Barnabas and Saul returned from Jerusalem. What have they been doing down there? Oh, that's right. They had to take the money, right? Chapter 11, at the very end, verse 30. And they did and sent it by the elders of other hands to Barnabas and Saul. They were down there when this happened. Barnabas and Saul saw James got killed. Peter got released. They know what's going on, don't they? So in the final verse of chapter 12, underline Barnabas and Saul returned from Jerusalem. And when they had filled their ministry and took with them, look at this, underline it, took with them John, whose surname was Mark. I told you he'd be a prominent character. He's a divisional character, but he's a character there. So Barnabas and Saul now go back from Jerusalem. They're going back to Antioch, okay? Now we have just completed the first half of the book of Acts. Everything about all the apostles. But now our focus changes. In chapter 13, the unction of the Holy Ghost is going to take us to another place. It's God's Holy Ghost. Heavenly Father, thank you for letting us join together and let us study your word. Father, we give you praise and glory for the lessons that you teach us. And God, we thank you, Lord, how you remind us, Lord, of your care for your people, how your word grows and how it changes lives. Bless us to a meet again in Christ's name we pray. Amen. Hey, thank you for your time. Don't forget to remember verses. Next week we'll have a brand new one. We're just going to try this week to get all these in. Don't forget, starting chapter 13, but I'll have the quiz posted tonight. We can work on it tomorrow. We have time in between. Church of your choice will be in the book of Exodus tomorrow. I invite you to come be a part of that there. We're going to get out of the book of Exodus, I believe, tomorrow night. We'll hit into the book of Leviticus, okay? God bless you. Have a good evening. Thank you for your prayers, as I always say. Thank you so much for them. Always need your prayers. By the way, I will start telling you, because I know there are folks who do want to see. We come on at 7 o'clock. So if you do subscribe and hit that button, that bell, it'll come on right around 7 o'clock. You'll see it come on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. God bless you. Have a good evening.